Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the Puzzlebox of Yogg-Saron. Stick around. Real quick, an introduction into archaeology if you've never done it before. When you open your map, there's going to be these super tiny little shovels on your map. Fly towards them, run towards them, and they're going to open up into these really big red zones. Get your surveying, get your archaeology skills out. Once you use your survey ability while you're within the zones, these little telescopes are going to pop up with lights next to them, red, yellow, green, indicating your distance from the particular artifact. Once you get the flashing green one, you can pretty much run in that particular direction until you get what looks like a really shiny shovel over your head. Use that survey button one more time, right click on the fragments, and you'll be able to collect the fragments that are within that area. When you go to Wowhead and you pull up the Puzzlebox of Yogg-Saron, this is the page that pops up. Now you want to start at any major capital because it'll give you the opportunity to power level up to 375. Why 375? When you scroll down and you look at the Puzzlebox of Yogg-Saron, it is a Nerubian, it's rare, and you need 140 of the Nerubian archaeology fragments. Now the only way you're going to be able to find those is if you get it up to 375, you go to Northrend, and you dig around in the dirt. Now, when we're mentioning these 140 Nerubian fragments, if you're new to archaeology, you may not even understand what we're talking about. So when you use the survey ability and you're going around and you're digging around in the dirt and you're picking up these fragments, you're going to use these fragments on one of these races. When you open up the archaeology tab, this is what you're going to see. You click on one of them, it's going to open up and it's going to show you an artifact that you're going to be able to see. Now, the artifacts are going to come with different types of commonality: rare, common, uncommon. And that's what you need the 140 for. So down there at the bottom of this one from Drust, I have 42 out of 200 to discover it. Now those obelisks that showed up on the Wowhead page, this little hexagon down there at the bottom is where you're going to be able to plug those obelisks in. Now you don't need to have 3 of them, but you do have the option to use 3 of them to discover the puzzle box. Now you're not always going to have a rare, you'll have the common or you have the uncommon, and you'll have to discover those to be able to have the opportunity to discover the Yogg-Saron box. Alright guys, we're out here, we're 375 archaeology, we're out here in Northrend. I will say that I only found 4 areas that were surveyable for the Nerubian. Now let me explain the way Northrend works, because it is a bit different than some of the other expansions. Now in Northrend, not each zone is going to have their own fragments. So when I started, I was under the assumption that Icecrown was the only area that we're going to have the Nerubian fragments, and then Borean Tundra was going to be something completely different, but rather each survey area is going to be an entirely different race that's associated with this discovery process, right? So what we're looking for are the Nerubian survey areas. Now what you have to do is you have to go around, you have to fly around, and you have to complete the other areas to be able to unlock the Nerubian areas. They're not just going to automatically be there. You can only have 4 active at a time while you're within Northrend. And so you're going to fly around, you're going to have to complete these other ones to open up the Nerubians. Now the 4 areas that I were able to find, I have annotated 2 on this map. I was lucky enough to be able to at least get 2 at the same time. However, the 3rd one I found was at the Temple of Inkila. And the 4th one I was able to find was northwest of the Argent Vanguard in the Broken Front. So good luck, happy hunting. Now the last tip I wanted to introduce you guys to is actually using these restored artifacts. Now if you return to the same trainer in the current expansion, BFA, she will have this option to look at what she has in stock. You'll be able to buy these crates of Nerubian archaeology fragments for 1 restored crate. Restored artifact crate. So what those will do, you'll be able to open them. You'll get only about 10 artifacts. I'm a dwarf, so I get a little bit more than that, so you may get a little bit less depending on your race. But what it does is it kind of gives you a little bit of a break from flying around in Northrend, just kind of hoping that you get that Nerubian survey site. So you see me here, I'm buying a couple of them. I actually ended up using all 16 of my restored artifacts, and through this process I actually ended up discovering the Puzzlebox of Yogg-Saron, so I ended up being done flying around in Northrend. Now that, we've discovered this Puzzlebox of Yogg-Saron, I was fairly excited to share this experience with one of my friends. Went down, used it. As you can see, it does absolutely nothing. You'll get a whisper after about 10 seconds, and there's all this, Reddit forums and things if you guys are interested in joining and trying to figure out what exactly the box does, how to open it. But it is also used in the Glory of the Uldir Achievement. So if you're interested in that, I will put a link in the description below.